Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hopefully that the storm doesn't sit there and shut up my signal. It might, but we got a big one tonight of conspiracy to charge, kidnapping, falsifying records, as well as many, many, many other wonderful little things that we're sharing tonight, and as well as also you're going to hear certain names pop up. We're going to do the timeline. You guys recently already, you'll know, we're going to be going with this July 29, 2019. JR6's wellness checks, unlawful entries, kidnappings. We're going to talk about that tonight. And we're going to show the conspiracy and corruption going on here in the city of Canton, Ohio, Stark County Child Protective Services, and the coalition that they both have with one another. And the city of Canton's very much involvement with them. Now, you guys have already been shown here from the last video. If you guys go on the Canton Hall of Shame timeline, you would know about the February incident and what happens when you guys go and take groceries in for your neighbors and everything and come back out to your car and you live in an impoverished neighborhood, and how CPS cases get opened on you and then they get closed out after saying, you know, how bonded they are. And remember that name right there, because this is going to be crucial. Bree MacArthur. Well, we're going to talk about another incident that took place a few months later. As I said, I was in Jackson Sherrick working my butt off, saved up a whole bunch of money, tried to get out of there, and I finally found a place in Massillon to get my kids in a certain school district I wanted to get them in. Found us a nice place, paid my deposit, paid my first month's rent, did everything along those lines. I even got almost $2,000 worth of materials and such to sit there and renovate the entire house. Problem is that I, unfortunately, like many others all throughout Stark County, which we have a huge problem with, have ran into a slumlord situation. Those of you that understand what I'm saying, hey, I'm pretty sure y'all have been in the same boat, and we can help you with that as well here at Canton Hall of Shame. Now, what happened was that I tried to move in, and unfortunately the landlord took my security deposit, took my first month's rent, and had me sign a lease, but unfortunately just happened to forget to evict the prior tenants. And basically told me, oh, it's my cake, you know, I gotta eat it. Well, I went to everybody, nothing but, it's a civil matter, it's a civil matter. The police tell you the same damn thing. There's a report after report after report, but this one is crucial here after almost a month here. As you can see, I was at the end of my lease on July 1st. There's the date of the report. I'm trying to get into my place in Massillon, to which this report states, in quote, stated that they had 2 small children in the house. The house was trashed. Now, this is also right after I had to turn off all the utilities I had turned on in my name because these people just refused to leave. We went with Mr. Nicely to the residence and made contact. Both parties advised the residence was in the process of being remodeled, did not appear to be unfit for children to live there. Pictures taken of the residence in the report advised nicely the eviction process, nothing further. Again, it's a civil matter. Now, guys, keep in mind, they said that it did not appear to be unfit for children. Well, this is the condition that these children were in that I was trying to tell them about. That's an infant and another child. Look at this, man. Not unfit, though, you know. That child's diaper was maxed completely out. Once again, nobody would help. I tried going to the city prosecutor's office. They refused to help me, and then I tried to do again to go back to the house on this date right here, 7/24, as you see. Here's another incident report number. There you go. And to which it states that I was supposed to be there for a civil standby. You know, I reside there. Living at the residence by my name, blank blank, has served with 3-day notice by the property manager. According to Nicely, blank was allowed to move in via past tenant, and when they moved out, she stayed. That's exactly what took place. Nicely states that he was there to grab some of his children's belongings as well as his. Officers attempted to make contact in the front door, however, we learned that it was screwed shut. And I had to climb up through the second-story window when they're sitting there letting them in through the side there. Finally opened up the door for her. Nicely went into the house in his room and became irate and began to scream, yell, and curse. States someone stole all his stuff, basically 2 televisions, places, all our kids' belongings, all my kids' toys, all of our PlayStation, the toys, the DVDs, the video games, his Minecraft world he had worked on for God knows how long. Everything we owned down to our toothbrushes was gone. And we just found this out. Now, Nicely claims the person responsible for the theft was blank. Yes, it was the people staying there. They robbed us blind. Claims that they were meth heads and that the people are in and out of the house. Yes, it was like a fucking halfway house. These people refused to leave, pardon my language. And again, I went to everybody to try to get help so me and my kids could just move into our home. And again, everybody constantly kept saying it's a civil matter. Nicely called the property manager, no avail. Then was finally able to get a hold of the property manager's girlfriend. It appears the property manager allowed Nicely to move in before blank was evicted. Now, you guys are seeing all this here. Alright? Now, I looked over the paperwork Mr. Nicely has, which was my lease, and it says Nicely has 3 children and himself are the only ones on the lease. Blank stated she is going to make the property manager go through the whole eviction process in order to remove her. Child Services showed up to the house in order to evaluate where Nicely was going to stay and try to convince Blank to leave the residence and go be with her children, which were at her sister's home. Blank refused to leave the residence and stated she wasn't going anywhere. Both Blank and Nicely were advised by the lieutenant that until the eviction process is complete, both had the right to the residence and could not either force to leave. Nicely began to work on a temporary place for he and his children to avoid any further problems. Now, it was me that was trying to move into my place. It was me that signed the lease. It was me that paid all my bills. It was me that had the utilities on. And it was me that tried to go to everybody to get these people out, all to no avail because of a slumlord. These people, as it stated in the report, were told to go to your children, who, by the way, they had open cases with. They moved the children to the sister's house the day after here. These pictures are taken of the conditions that they're in, that these are acceptable, and nobody did a damn thing about it. Okay? Now, again, they had open case plans, into which, and instead of helping me, CPS doesn't do a damn thing. They don't put me in temporary assistance stay or anything else and let me figure it out and, get these people out of our house so we can move in. No, they forced me to go back to Jackson Sherrick, where I'm almost a month out of lease, and then they wanted to go ahead on top of that and intentionally try to file an eviction on me. In the process, they dropped us off there, didn't help, didn't do anything, and as it states here, it's all right. July 25th, agency personnel attempted to meet father again to assess options for family safety. Father continued to demonstrate concerning behaviors related to anger. For their own safety, the agency personnel left the premises. Now, that's their convoluted report by Bree MacArthur and Katie Pavick. Now, what honestly happened was on July 25th, the next day, they came back to the apartment and then started interrogating me about the abuses that took place against the squatters' kids by me. Instead of helping me and my 3 kids in this hard situation, they started interrogating me. And to which I told them flat out, kick bricks, get the hell out. I was not polite. I told them don't ever come back again. Well, they decided to come back again. Again, Bree MacArthur, with a comprehensive safety assessment plan for myself and my 3 kids, claiming, in quote, here's the police report, incident date number, July 29, 2019. Complainant works for CPS. Is entered to location to implement a safety plan for 3 children in the home. Now, why are they doing that? Meeting with Justin. Complainant had issue with him last week, got very irate, and she had to leave. Is that why you're doing this? Because I told you to kick bricks? Don't come around me and my kids no more. You people are garbage. You don't help. You've caused more problems than you've done good. Complainant advised that this male really hates police. Unknown if weapons are in the home. Now, this is the type of things they do. They sit there, they contact Canton City Police Department, they lie, and then they try to sit there and instigate by escalating with lies and their bullshit assumptions. They got to my house and ruled my kids JR6, claiming I'm under the influence of methamphetamine. Now, this is the police report. Officers were dispatched to 1124 13th Street Southeast to assist CPS with removing children from the residence. Not assist with a safety protection plan like it says here, but to remove my kids. Officers arrived and removed the kids from an uncooperative Justin Nicely. How many of you people are going to cooperate if you're a parent with somebody kidnapping your kids and accusing you of some shit that you have never touched a day in your life? He had tested positive for methamphetamine in a drug screening. Where is this positive drug screen that they refused to show me during that time when they were trying to kidnap my kids? And they didn't have when they had the police coming in my home with no warrants. Nothing signed by a judge, people. This is all done by a JR6. Here you go, Forensic Labs. Collected July 29th, 2019, folks. There's your proof. I've always been more than open about my marijuana use. I've always been open with these agencies and anybody that's ever asked about it. I've never once a day in my life touched any hard drug. Amphetamines, cocaine, benzoids, methadone, oxycodone, fentanyl, tramadol, whatever the hell all this shit is. Never have I touched any of it. And that day, they came to my home and kidnapped my children. As y'all see here, Katie Pavick, Bree MacArthur, July 29th, 2019. Stole my kids, saying I'm under the influence of methamphetamine, refused to show a drug test, and it was because I did not sign Bree MacArthur's safety plan. I refused. It's why they JR6 and kidnapped my children. Now, this isn't a one-time incident. They went as far as even sitting there and conspiring with Stark County Metropolitan Housing Authority to also have me evicted for $44. And now we're going to check our handy-dandy activity logs. Child Protective Services is notorious for their retaliatory conduct, and we're going to go to page, I believe it was 16, to which worker called Dana, property manager of the Jackson Sharing Housing. Worker explained the situation with Justin and was asked what was going on with his housing. Now, Dana reports that there was an eviction that has already been filed on Justin, and he was not paying his rent. Now, this report was taken the day after I told CPS to kick bricks, and 3 days before they came with Canton City Police Department to kidnap my children. Now, I am completely paid on my rent, people. I was out of term on my lease. This is complete fabricated bullshit. Everything that came out of Dana's mouth was a blatant lie. Further explained, Dana's just waiting on the court date. Paperwork was filed weeks ago, which is a blatant lie. The court paperwork, it shows, was not filed until August 1st, is when they went ahead and filed the eviction against me for $44. $44, people. Dana states that once the court date's scheduled, Justin is screwed. They intentionally, like I said, conspired to screw me and have me evicted for $44. $44. It's a sad world we live in that they did that to me, and then 3 months later gave my kids back after trafficking to New York, after the damage that was caused, after 2 different foster home placements, after not listening to me or helping me and my family in our time of need in our situation. That they also wanted to go ahead and conspire to have me evicted. And remember, this is from the same people who just prior, not even back on March 29th, talked about, Justin, during our meeting, it was clear to me that you care and love for your children and you want what's best for them and are willing to do anything to protect them. Yes, I am. Signed by Bree MacArthur. The same Bree MacArthur who came and kidnapped my kids. And now we're going to show you the repetitive retaliatory conduct by this same agent, Bree MacArthur. as this is an incident report number from Youngstown Police Department 25Y0165585 in regards to Tyreek Brown, a 6-year-old little boy who, as it's reported on April 23rd, was sexually molested, essayed many times, people. Many times, several times, while in the placement and care of Child Protective Services. And this is under the care of caseworkers Emily Smith, who in turn is the supervisor, Bree MacArthur. And again, this took place April 23rd, 2025. They knew about this molestation taking place against this poor child. They left this poor child in this home for 2 months after it took place. The father many times even had a threat of being chased out of the CPS building during his visits, threatened to have his visits cut, numerous times threatened physical assault if he weren't to leave because he kept bringing up the problems being shown with his son, that there was something going on in the foster home. They knew about this incident taking place back in April. The father was never told. They knew about this during our team meeting on 6/26/25. There's your date of when the incidents occurred. That's the date we had the team meeting where all of us were sitting down and nobody said a word about this child having that happen to him. This is the report filed by the guardian ad litem, which I'm unfortunately not allowed to show, but I will show the file date, showing this judge knew full well that this young boy had sustained these abuses. But to make matters worse, the father was only told by mail through this mailing, to which he didn't receive it until July 15th, into which he's told here, end quote, "If you share my report, I will have to file another notice with the court. You have to call me and ask me who you can share that your son was abused while on our watch. And we didn't tell you during the team meeting on June 26th, even though it happened back in April. We didn't tell you during the visits while you were here at the facility. We didn't tell you until even during the court date on July 8th, to which this child should have been returned to his father. No. You guys wanted to hide the fact that there's an open investigation in regards to that incident number. You lied. You canceled this boy's trauma therapy. You lied. And then, the day after, 1,000 of these were printed out and shared with everybody, put into everybody's hands. Bree MacArthur finally calls, to which in turn sets up a team meeting. Josh Brown, y'all have heard the recording. Not one time the father ever threatened this woman. But unfortunately, here it is, Bree MacArthur and Miss Smith with this incident number with the Kansas City Police Department. Are y'all starting to see a pattern and trend here? Filed not one, but 2 F5 aggravated menacing charges. Here's the case number, people. 2025 CRA 03020. Now, why in the hell would they sit there on this time here, 7/22 at 11:08, okay, is what time they were sitting there taking the report. And the other report taken 10:56, to which they sent 6 cruisers to this man's house. 6 cruisers, stating that blank is threatening CPS workers. Aggravating menacing. Blank has stated, police think we don't notice. I'm going to get them to follow me in a dead-end street. Liars. Taking things out of context, flipping the narrative. Attempt to make contact with subject. Mel went inside soon as units pulled up. Opened the channel. Mel did not answer the door. Blank was advised that blank. If they are caught together, they will be charged. So in other words, they're saying basically here, if they caught me with him as well, for some reason, I'll be charged. I'm going to be charged. Even though, again, never a day in my life has anybody heard of someone filing charges the exact same day after we were passing out the truth of this boy, 6 years old, being SA'd while in their care. And because we're sharing the truth, now all of a sudden, he's a danger, he's a threat, he's a menace. Aggravated menacing, felony charges. Why? So they can cover up the fact his son was SA'd while in their care. Now, we're all about transparency, Canton Hall of Shame, so we're going to go ahead and share what they're talking about so threatening on this post here that you see. It's on someone else's page. If you look there, we're always being followed by these wonderful unmarked cars after city council meetings, and we have plenty of documentation and evidence showing that yes, we are under surveillance here at Canton Hall of Shame, and so are all our constituents that work with us and collaborate. The post was talking about how they continuously keep following us and how they don't think that we're noticing. Well, Josh made the post in the comment. They don't think they think we don't notice. I'm going to get them to follow me down a dead-end street. And yes, if they're going to follow us, I tell everybody, you think you're being followed, do 5 left-hand turns, and then, pull down a dead-end street if you think you're being followed and you're not doing anything wrong. We encourage that. And there's nothing threatening about that. But this right here, folks, because of this, that right there, just because of Kansas City Police Department and CPS and Bree MacArthur, is that now. Along with several other incidences that they're trying to sit there and flip the narrative of. Now, we went ahead and took it a step extra. We contacted Kansas City Police Department. We went ahead and wanted to find out what's going on. So here's the recording. And listen to them being condescending. Just basically, no investigation. No, we got the report. That's good enough for us. We're going to come and arrest your ass.
Just 1 second, sir. What's up? Merging you. Hello, sir? Hello? Yes, this is Joshua Brown and my parent advocate on the phone with you, Justin Nicely. I have some questions to ask here. We're both sitting here scratching our heads. Why did I have 6 officer cars or 5 officer cars pull up to my home here at my house? My neighbors called me, and my stepson called me also to let me know that officers were past my private property sign on my back deck, banging on my door, and also on my front porch, banging at my front door.
You asked the question, the answer. They knocking on your door to see if you were home because they were going to arrest you.
For what?
Your charges have been filed against you for making threats against CPS workers. Do you have any?
You never made a threat against the CPS worker, ever. We
have recordings.
They recorded the phone call. Are you guys going to investigate or just go by the word of CPS?
Listen, stop talking and listen. That's why they were there. You asked the question, that's why they were there. So nobody answered, so those charges will be set upstairs and warrants will be filed against you. So at some point you're going to have people watching TV show and warrants.
Okay, so then I can show my recordings in court, right? I can show my recordings in court that I never threatened them, sir.
He never made a threat to them and said, all he said he was coming for them legally full-fledged.
I'm talking to him. I'm talking to you. You're not an attorney.
I know, I never claimed to be.
But he was party of the case, sir. He's been...
I was listening to the whole conversation that during you talking to Bree MacArthur this morning. He never once threatened her. That is a bull-faced, blatant lie. And if she's wanting to write that in a sworn testimony, we're willing to sit there and bring the recording of the entire conversation and go ahead and file charges against her for falsifying police reports. Instead of you guys retaliating
also called the FBI and explained to them what's going on. Then.
He never threatened Bree MacArthur.
I never threatened Bree MacArthur, sir. You're hearing this verbally out of my mouth and my parent advocate that is witness to this. So I don't appreciate you guys coming to my home in force, trying to arrest me or be retaliative towards me because of this woman. You guys didn't even call my probation officer. I called him and he said there's nothing going on. I explained to him specifically what is actually going on. So enjoy.
Let him speak, Josh.
There's probation officer doesn't know that there's charges filed. He'll know that you have warrants, and that'll violate your probation, and you'll end up getting taken to jail, or you can come down, you can be arrested for the fresh charges that we have.
Well, I would like to press charges against her for falsifying information then, since we're on the phone.
She didn't. She was never threatened.
She was never
What was the
threatened.
threat?
She was never threatened. So we could play this ball game all day. Because I'm winning on my side, sir.
He never threatened a CPS worker.
I never threatened her. So I don't understand why you guys came in force.
Did you guys even listen to the entire conversation? Because we have the entire conversation recorded, and never once was there a threat.
Right.
First off, what I'm doing is for a judge and attorneys to do. We have enough common cause or officer.
You have the statement of an official. That's it.
And you guys don't even have a warrant. You just said it over the phone. You don't have a warrant, right?
No, they're going to try to make you a warrant. So we're going to take the tape recording to the prosecutor personally. What prosecutor are you turning this over to? And then we're going to file charges against CPS caseworker Bree MacArthur for filing false freaking reports.
I would like to do that now over the phone. Since you're talking to me, I would like to file a police report against Bree
That was never a
MacArthur.
threat.
That is a threat. You're trying to
There was never a threat against her at all during that whole conversation, other than he's coming for accountability.
and this is what I've been fearing. This is what I've been fearing. I've been fearing this was going to happen because you guys were going to do this to me and try to violate my probation. I knew you guys were going to do this.
Don't even listen to the phone call.
I knew you guys were going to do this.
That's okay. We got the whole conversation recorded. We're going to send it to the prosecutor. Who's the prosecutor you're taking this to? I'd be glad to give it to him.
No, we can't hear you, sir.
This man's kid is
You
being
need to
raped.
speak
He
up
only
louder.
retaliated.
We can't hear you. What prosecutor are you taking this to? We still can't hear you.
He says he don't know. It's sent to the prosecutor's office. Good. We're gonna send the recording to the prosecutor's office and tell us what the hell the threat was.
Shut your mouth for once.
Oh, if you shut your mouth.
Let him talk. It is a Facebook threat that we have here. That's where the threat came from. From a Facebook post from Justin. Or Joshua.
My Facebook posts are not threatening. My Facebook posts are non-threatening. So try that again, sir.
Alright, have a good day. Have a nice day.
No, I want to press charges against these false allegations.
Information officer will.
I just got off the phone with him, and I explained this to him. What's going on? So, sir, I did not violate anything. I did not threaten anybody.
I'm gonna go through your posts, dude. They're saying that you made a Facebook post that's threatening. I'm gonna go through all your posts and see which one they're talking about.
Right.
This is horseshit.
Now that was a recording from the phone call of Kansas City Police Department. And again, no investigative attack. Oh, we're just going to take the word. The caseworker said so. And we're going to take their flip narrative. And, we're going to take your words off of your posts and flip it around and make them, nefarious. Well, this isn't just a one-time thing. This is the attitude of the Kansas City Police Department. I got a recording here. This is all the way back from February 27th of 2023. This is the shift supervisor. When I tried to go in, I tried to file finally complaints in regards to everything that happened to me and my kids. as far as them coming in my home with no warrants and kidnapping them on false allegations. I was threatened in front of my new infant daughter at that time, and threatened out of the building. If I didn't leave, I was going to go to jail. They refused to even take a report, even though Captain Broker was the one that told me to come in and speak to her, who, by the way, makes $112,000 a year, too, that taxpayer dollars. So, but this is their mentality, folks. I promise full disclosure, and I want you to listen to their mentality and how they talk and what they think.
Yeah, we left the metal detector now. He's leaving. He's walking across the street toward parole right now. Okay. I think he might actually be leaving. Okay, good enough. All right. I'm trying to be a police officer. He don't normally leave that early. He must have fucking believed you. I don't know what you said to him, but he believed he was going to jail. We're done. I'm done. Record me. I don't care.
He must have believed you. He thought he was going to jail. Record me. I don't care. That is the true Canton City Police Department. Chief Gabbard, your department, I'm calling you out publicly, needs a drastic overhaul, sir. I don't know how many times I begged you to come to the table to explain. How many times have I begged you to come to the table to explain? I'm going to see if we can get everybody listening to that one more time. Now, the recording of the police, basically he was stating that he's coming, he's going to go talk to the PO, he's going to make sure to get Josh violated. The PO is already well aware of what's going on before any of this even took place, and said that it's not going to be a concern unless he's found guilty of these charges as far as a violation. And they show up 6 deep just off of a complaint alone. And again, it's Bree MacArthur, it's CPS, it's Canton City Police Department, and their collusion with one another to sit there and charge parents, kidnap kids, falsify reports, lie. And this is a continuous thing. This is going on all across the nation. And they have literally weaponized Child Protective Services and JFS against those that are impoverished. Those that have smaller children, 0 to 5, you're at the high risk. And you all talking about how, it only happens to bad parents, CPS gets involved. Well, let me eliminate a stigma. No, bullshit. It takes an overzealous caseworker, a bullcrap accusation, and a simple phone call, your kids are gone. That is that simple. It can happen to anyone. Anytime. You guys, if you are impoverished, you are high risk. If you are of a minority, you are high risk. If you have children that are newborn to age 5 years of age, you are extremely high risk. If you have multiple children, you are high risk. If you lived in impoverished communities or lower income community, you are high risk. This is happening everywhere, and this is all by the creation of ASFA, the America Safe Families Act, put into place originally called the Oprah Bill in 1993, passed 1997, and put into play with 5 other pieces of legislation all the way up until 2001, that not only takes away every single right we have as parents, as fathers, as mothers, and our dictation, our rights over our children. Not only do they get to take that away from us, but they also put into legislation to where they also control the narrative and the statistics and the data of what's taking place with this child trafficking for profit system. It's happening. People are being martyred over sharing the truth. People are getting retaliated on here, especially in Stark County and the city of Canton. We're exposing it all, folks. This is what